Hey guys, this is Adam Munds with RCHub Studio Productions, and we are back in the studio with the SCX-10 Deadbolt here. It's a little dirty, went ahead and ran this truck and beat the crap out of it for the review. But anyway, this is the Axial SCX-10 Deadbolt. This is a good truck, and this should really hold up to my abuse and categories that I put my trucks to for the review process. I know this is the first truck that I've reviewed. I've owned several. I've owned 66 different trucks. So I've made it very, very challenging for, well, now this is 67, for trucks to get a passing grade. So sure, I could have just did the 50%, but I bumped that up to 75% or higher in the different categories to go ahead and get a good grade. Those categories are as following: handling, durability, upgradability, parts availability, electronics, and value. So those categories right there, to me, define a good truck. If a truck does good in all of those categories and has a high score of over 75%, then I will go ahead and give it my seal of approval. So far I've had the Proline Pro MT right over here, and it's passed the pateron, and it's barely passed, and now the SCX-10 Deadbolt. And this is by far the cheapest truck that I've got yet, so let's go ahead and go on into it. Handling right out of the box, the truck's weight bias is pretty good. By far the best RTO trail truck I've ever drove. I've driven the Sendor, a Trailfinder 2, and first gen SCX-10s. And I've also driven a few SCX-10-2s. So the front, it's got a lot of front weight bias, which feels really good. I would like a little bit of lower weight in the axles though. That would make the truck perform a whole lot better when you're going off a very vertical incline. I'd like a little bit more down low weight. Now these Netto trail grapplers, I think that's what they're called. I don't know, they're semi-grippy tile. They work decent, but for the first battery pack they were slick and they did not grip at all. After I started running it a little bit better, they worked well. They actually drove pretty decent through the mud in one of my running videos I did. And I ended up kind of liking these. There's a good side bite, not a total throwaway ready to tile. I wish it would have been in the O35 compound versus what I believe is the S30 compound. That's what these are. So other than that, truck drives pretty good. Gear ratio is about perfect for where I'd want a trail truck. I'm going to give the truck an 8 in this category. I would like the tires to be a little bit softer and have a bit more weight down low. Durability. So I only drove this truck technically once and I got a good feeling of it. This is actually my girlfriend's truck, so I let her go ahead and do the rest of the running videos. And we actually shot 4 videos on 3 of them are up by the time you guys are seeing this. The other one is going to come up a little bit later on. I'm going to hold it back a little and go ahead and push out some other videos. With durability, I ended up beating the living crap out of this truck. She did too. Ran it on 3S the whole time. We got it bound in rocks trying to break it, submerged it trying to destroy it, and got it bogged up in mud. And mechanically, the truck is fine. I did have my steering servo go out on the 4th video, which is not part of the review process. I only do 3 videos for that. And I ended up blowing it up. I called tech support, literally got off the phone with them, and then I shot this video. That way I could go ahead and let you guys know what's going on. They are sending me a brand new tactic servo. Great job to those guys. Staying beside the product. Toys and Hobby is always very good about that. And Hobbico. Now since those two are together, it's really good for that. So the servo started glitching out. I ended up finally burning it up. Other than that, I haven't had any breakages. So since there's a category for electronics, I'm going to leave the servo for the electronics category and just look at the mechanical aspect of the truck. And the truck did perfect, no issues, flawless throughout it all. No clicking, no binding, nothing. Give the truck a 9 for the mere factor that it's got plastic train skills. I know that's going to go eventually, so I just got to keep that in mind. There's no way I can give a truck a 10 in this category because, well, things do break. I can't say that you're going to go out and drive this truck and not have anything happen to it. So after 7 hours of testing, that's the only thing that happened, which is for the electronics category. Upgradability. Well, it's an Axial. Do I really need to say more? Do I really need to go into this category? I probably should. Upgradability. One of the big things to make your truck stand out against the crowd here is to go ahead and, well, make it different. You can do anything from different axles to different shocks to different rims, tires, and body. For this truck, you can upgrade anything on here. Axial has upgrade parts for this truck. Vanquish, Proline, so on and so forth. There are so many upgrade companies out there. that you can put weight in the axles like I knocked it on earlier from beef tubes. You can do whatever you want to this truck, and that's what makes it so cool. So you can change the look of this truck with a few parts. So upgradability, well, this is probably the best in its class. I can't think of anything better besides for maybe the Traxxas Slash, so I'm going to give it a 10 in this category. Axial's upgradability in parts is phenomenal. It's way up there. So I give it a 10. Parts availability, well, everything does break. Even though trailer trucks, you have to be very, very rough on them or have quite a sucky trailer truck to actually break one. So if you do manage to break this, which I'm sure it'll end up happening, can you go to your hobby shop and get parts? So parts availability. I know a lot of people are doing things offline. I still want to buy as much as I can from my hobby shops. And well, if I go over to my hobby shop, Falcon Hobby Supply, I'm sure I can walk in there, buy anything from bumper to bumper on this truck. This is for maybe some hardware and like the new Deadbolt specific parts, such as this new back chassis brace back here. Things like that they might not have in, but they can get it in very soon. So for that factor, I am going to have to give the Deadbolt a 9 because an SCX-10 is an SCX-10. Electronics. Here is where it's really going to hurt the Deadbolt score, and I know there's going to be haters in the comments. But, well, the stock radio is small, very cheap in the hand, range sucks, honestly. I know it's a cheap truck, so I gotta keep that in mind. Even with people with little hands, the grip on here is way too big for those people. Even for people with bigger hands, such as myself, it feels really, really cheap. Weight bias is really low. It's very awkward of a radio. Motor got enough torque to get you over just about anything. It's a 35 ton, got enough wheel speed and torque to go ahead and do a lot of applications. Speed control. On 2S, it's a pig, basically. You need to put 3S in it to really accomplish much. And as soon as you do that, you start raising your temps of your speed control kind of into an uncomfortable range. For myself, I continue to run it just to see if it will blow up. And I did end up getting it to blow up. Eventually I'm going to drop a caster onto it. But for now, that speed control is still working. It just got really hard. Steering servo, I ended up blowing up, which was after I had the thing fully submerged. But even when I was regularly driving it, it wasn't the links that was bending that was stopping the thing from turning. It was actually the servo leaking out. So for that factor alone, most of these electronics in this truck, I'm going to have to say, are throwaway. Of course you can use it, but the motor's really good. Other than that, the electronics aren't that good. So I'm going to have to give it a 5. Value. This is the cheapest truck I've got on the channel for the review process, and honestly the cheapest ready-to-run truck I've ever bought. So, that being said, that does not always make it a great value truck. It always depends on where does your money go. So let's think here for a second. For it being around $300, you get a ready-to-run trailer truck, and sure, those things cheaped out, such as plastic trans gears, plastic links, things like that. But when you get it out driving, you can be very impressed with it pretty quick. Now, I think as soon as you dump a little bit of money into the electronics, you will feel that the value of this truck is very good. Stock electronics are decent for the value too, you gotta keep that in mind. So while you're out trailing, I feel like I could take this to a comp, such as the Team KTTC, and place within the top 20 with the truck. I feel like I could do pretty well with it. So, that being said, the value is pretty good for it being around $300. I give it a 9 in this category. For the main reason is, for heaven's sake, it's ready-to-run trailer truck. You can't ask much more out of a $300 truck. So, the SCX-10 Deadbolt is a great truck, but does it really pass though? Because I was pretty hard on it doing electronics, but the other things seem pretty good. The final grade of the SCX-10 Deadbolt truck here. The final grade for the SCX-10 Deadbolt, after all of the complaints I had about it and all of the positives, it actually does counteract itself pretty well, and it gets a pretty good grade. I gave it an 83% after you average everything together, and 75% is the minimum for passing, so it passes with a pretty good margin though. And that's quite impressive for this being a $300 truck. I think that that's pretty good for actually being able to push that out under the $300 price point and put it competitively with some of the more expensive trucks that I've had on the channel. So, we're seeing it here first. The brand new Axial SCX-10 Deadbolt gets my seal of approval for passing. And honestly, I think you guys would really like this truck if you'd go out and buy one. So if you guys do, let me know. If you guys already own one, let me know what you guys think. And I'll say this again, I said it my first time I did it, got threatened to get sued, and they're still hating on me for it. This is real honest reviews, no paid BS or sponsorship deals here. This is 100% my money going into it. I might get a little bit of a discount here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm still buying these trucks, and I'm still going to tell you what I don't like about them and what I like about them. So there's no point of really beating around the bush here. The Axial Deadbolt is an amazing truck. So anyway, until next time, this is Adam Munds with RCHub Studio Production, signing off.